Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and in this video, you can watch the forecast for your star sign for the week 1st to 7th of September 2025. This forecast is for Aries, and just to remind you, guys and girls, that aside from the sun sign, which probably most of you are here for because it's going to show you the events that are going to happen to you going through your week, the moon and the rising signs are also very important to listen to because the moon sign will divulge you those events that you are going to experience, what kind of emotions and feelings they are going to bestow upon you. And the rising sign is no less important because it's a guidance reading. It basically will uncover for you how it's going to be the best way to handle your stuff around, what are going to be the best steps for you to take on when you face your situations. And that way, listen to all three of them should give you much broader reading on your week and much more personalized one than just the sun sign generalized reading. So with that said, the first one for Aries, the first card, that will be 10 of Wands. The second card for you, that will be the Empress. The third one, we have 5 of Wands. And the fourth one, that will be 9 of Swords. So I don't want to lie to you, Aries. It does look like by those cards that this is going to be rather a rougher week than the weeks you had by that point. And the reason comes from I do suspect it comes from your family, but I may be wrong here. Obviously, it's generalized readings for some of you, maybe from somewhere else. But there is a elder involved, someone with a lot of experience, someone that has the authority over you, and it will place, that person is going to place rather significant burden on your shoulder here. We do have 10 of Wands on the first position. That is the position of the environment and the topic of the week for you. 10 of Wands, like I said, quite of a heavy burden that you are going to have to handle for that person, most likely a man. And they will have a lot of, that burden will contain a lot of demands toward you, a lot of things that you need to accomplish, criteria that you need to pretty much fit in, and so on and so forth. So for you, there are going to be a lot of stuff moving around, and this week is going to throw you right in the midst of quite of a crazy activity and quite of a dynamic situation, if I may put it that way, where you will have to split yourself to a 5-10 pieces, you know, and everything, and all the time attend to everything that it is thrown your way, and there is going to be a lot going on in all that. So you can expect quite of a crazy week at work, quite of a crazy week family wise as well. These are the two main fields where that could happen. It's highly unlikely to be related to intimate relationships. When I said family, I mean bloodline family, like, you know, siblings, father, siblings, elders, relatives, and so on and so forth. And like I said, highly unlikely to be regarding your intimate relationship and as well your social circle. However, there is a quite of a big reward behind all that. So you aren't doing all these heavy lifting or all that heavy lifting just for nothing, and your efforts are not going to be in vain by the end of the week here or overall. And at least according to these cards, by the look of them, towards the end, everything is gonna work for you by being thrown, like I said, in the midst of all of these activities. But what is gonna work against you? Thank you for choosing my channel to get your weekly forecast, and I really hope that it does helps you and it gives you some answers that you seek. If you do want to drive the situation home, however, and get more specific answers for it and more specific insight to it, you can go for a personalized reading to my website, which link you're seeing right now at your screen. You can find it as well in the description down below. Other than that, let's jump right away back to your video. It's the Empress, and in your particular case, that is exhaustion. Because there is going to be a time where you will really need to catch up your breath. You're going to really need some break from all that, okay? From all that stir, from all that moving around with all these responsibilities that are going to be bestowed upon you, all these tasks and all that. And you wouldn't be able to kind of like catch it, or even if you do have the luxury to push everything aside, withdraw from the midst of all these activities, you know, just to catch up your breath, just to, usually in that particular case, you would want that time aside to scope the situation so you can approach it in the best objective fashion possible. But every lost second, you're not performing your duty, so to speak, because these responsibilities and tasks are going to be quoted as duties towards you, is going to be crucial, because it's just the time is ticking here. Okay, the time is ticking, and you definitely cannot afford, at least according to these cards, you cannot afford any spare moment. So it's just it's tough for me to explain it, because I never had such a week in my life. You know, I can kind of strata here that for the most part, I do had a very peaceful life thus far. But I know people who had that kind of a week, and it's freaking crazy, right? And you are for more or less up for such kind of experience. And there is going to be one more reason why taking a break, it's actually going to be to your detriment, and that is Five of Wands, I'm sorry, into the third position, which is the position what helps you in this week. And these are this is a luck in your particular case. So there are going to be a lot of stuff happening, and most of them are going to be uncalibrated, if I may put it that way. So they're not going to serve purpose to one or the other. And you can take those aspects, you can take those situations and make use of them to the best of your well-being. And through them, you can basically climb the rock bottom. You can transform failure into successful enterprises on your behalf, and that is going to be a big portion of the reward that you're going to have at the end when you fulfill all the demands and you have carried that burden which is going to be bestowed upon you. And that's why you should not withdraw from the midst of all activities, because you're not going to be involved in these, again, seemingly random circumstances which are going to serve no one at first. But if you are opportunistic, you can turn them completely in your favor and use them as a quote unquote a weapon, okay, or a means to your ends. And towards the end of the week, here with the Nine of Swords, things are gonna get really, really serious. There is going to be a lot hanging on your performance, a lot hanging on your decisions, and also on your actions. There are gonna be the situation that you're gonna be in. Obviously, that will be very personalized for every single different Aries. So it's not going to be like a situation in between Aries and Aries, but what is going to be common, like I said, it is that there is going to be a lot riding on it, and a huge consequences are going to follow after your action there or after your decision there. And those consequences, I don't mean them in a bad way. They could be really bad consequences, but they could be really beautiful consequences. That will depend on what you are going to do towards the end of the week, and will define how you're going to enter into the next week moving forward. So I do hope that either of you makes the best possible choice for themselves and for the situation that they are in. This was your weekly tarot reading. I hope it helped you. and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, you can subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, leave a like, comment on the video as well if you feel the need to do so. Any engagement would help me greatly. And if you do think that this video can help someone you know, you can share it as well with them. Other than that, hopefully we're going to see each other next time. And until then, bye.